So last time I picked, or maybe it was you picked, I said I was going to pick Jason Bourne.
Sure did. It was during our... Was it during the Fault in Our Stars review?
Might have been. I don't know. It was either yours, one of the last two times we sat and watched.
That episode where, you scored my film a 10 out of 10?
Sure.
Remember?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Well, I lied.
Bastard.
I'm not going to be here next week, and it feels wrong to start a trilogy just to take a break and then have to come back to it. It felt weird with the...
Isn't there 4?
There's 3 and a spinoff.
Okay.
Yeah. It felt weird with Bill and Ted because we had to take a month off.
Right.
I didn't want to have to do that again. So I thought, I'm going to mix it up. And, see if I can't get you on the anime trail. Get you on that bus, enjoying that ride, as it were. Have you seen Princess Mononoke from Studio Ghibli?
You know damn well I haven't.
All right, let's watch some anime. Can I start off this whole thing? I feel like this might frame... That's not going to frame anything. It'll give... I don't know. We haven't done initial impressions yet.
Yeah.
But I want to know. We review movies on this. We don't review
That's
other...
what you want to know?
Other movie reviewers.
Confirm.
What are your opinions on Siskel and Ebert? The famous movie reviewers.
Yeah. They're if I'm going to sit and watch someone reviewing a film, they're not my go-to.
If they rate something high, do you give it would you give it the time of day?
I would honestly like to say that I'm usually completely impartial to other.
You don't care what other people think.
It doesn't. No, because I've learned enough over the years that the audience score or the critic score or so-and-so's opinion, this was trash, it was the worst thing, and then I come out of it and I'm like, this is my new favorite movie.
Yeah. Art's subjective.
So, so I typically am not in... My interest in seeing a film is not influenced by that.
Right.
What can happen is I can see a film and then watch a review, which is typically the order that happens in anyways. Like I typically don't watch reviews for movies I haven't seen. But I will sometimes watch a review for a movie that I have just watched to better form my thoughts.
Sure.
Not that I'm necessarily... even then influenced by their opinions, but sometimes they give me new things to think about.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I would say I'm kind of in the same vein when it comes to
How do you feel about them?
Like Rotten Tomatoes, they've got the critic score. The critic score, I wouldn't know half of the critics on there, so I wouldn't know how much to wait to give their opinion in the first place.
Whereas you think the people voting in the audience score?
I don't.
Right.
But they've got, I don't know.
They're looking for different things.
They're looking, that's a great way to put it.
A film critic is going into it and they're looking more at structure. They're weighing it against previous offerings from the writer, from the actors, from
Right.
they're weighting it against, sometimes it's even release date, right? They're like, was this a summer film?
Was it a critical success?
Or should this have been released in January?
They're being, as critics, more critical of the film than an audience which is just pretty much going, did I enjoy it? What parts did I? What parts didn't I?
Yeah.
I would say when we rank films, we rank it more like an audience more often than not than a critic.
Yeah.
Though
I can get caught up sometimes in the critic way of thinking.
Yeah.
Sometimes to a fault, maybe.
Yeah, sure. Anyway, I would say that Siskel and Ebert would be a separate entity from like a Rotten Tomatoes critic score, because they have a career in kind of judging film and putting together top tens and all that fun stuff. And I don't know if I would agree with everything that they list, but like, if I see that they gave something a good score, I would be more likely to sit down and watch it than I would if Rotten Tomatoes critics gave it a good score. Just because they have a history and words are hard. What's the word I'm looking for? They have credibility, we'll say, because
Right.
they've been doing it for so long.
Right.
And they've been doing it in the public's eye for so long. Like, people have been critical of them.
Right.
Right. So.
And I would say, hello and welcome to the Movie Men podcast.
Hello.
That's Carl.
That's Brady.
And I traditionally, historically, almost as a part of my brand, if I were to have such a thing, it's not, I wouldn't even say that I don't like anime, because
You are
if
not
I'm-
what the kids call a weeb.
No, because if I'm being fair, I haven't been exposed to enough of it, I would say, to be able to say that I don't like anime.
Yeah.
Historically, I don't get the appeal. I'm going to say some things in this episode about anime, or about my historical feelings about anime, that are gonna be unpopular, that are gonna piss a lot of people off,
Sure.
are going to make me seem ignorant, and I'm willing to accept that title when it comes to this topic, and I'm happy to have my mind changed. This is just, if I'm speaking truthfully on what my headspace and thought process has been about anime up until this point, and maybe no longer, maybe still, I don't know, who knows. It's gonna get some unpopular.
Yeah. I don't expect to change your mind on anime as a whole with
Just
this
one
film. I would expect that it would just kind of crack the door open and you'd be like, kind of like with country. So you're traditionally kind of not a fan of country music.
I don't like country music.
Exactly. But
It's
you like
different than my anime.
But
thing.
you like Johnny Cash.
I don't like modern country.
Yeah.
I don't like country post 1968.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would my hope in sharing this film with you is that it would kind of like your dislike for anime would become similar to that dislike for country, in that there are facets of the genre that you're like,
right,
that's actually really cool.
Right.
Initial impressions?
Yeah, or do you want a hot take about anime? I mean, it can come before or after initial impressions.
Well, let's do initial impressions, and then you can drop your hot take right after.
Okay. What?
Sure.
What? This is your film.
This is my film. I will go
Congratulations. Seems like a big accomplishment. What? How do you feel about? You're gonna like 7 times plus. You're gonna have to correct me on the pronunciation of this.
Princess Mononoke.
Okay.
You got it? You good?
Mononoke.
Close enough.
Mononoke.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Princess Mononoke, I feel, is a masterclass in animation and anime. It's not the writer.
We need to preface
the writer and director.
We need to preface that we watched
artists,
the English dub.
We did.
We need to.
We did. There are differences in the in the translation and the adaptation. It's a kind. I think it's fair to call it a bit of an adaptation because they did change minor things, but in the grand scheme of the story, nothing changed. Anyway, the director and the writer and the individual who did a lot of the art, his name is, and I'm going to butcher this a little bit. I'll try my best. Hayao I think it's Miyazaki.
Okay.
And he's one of the co-founders of Studio Ghibli, who outside of Princess Mononoke have done like Ponyo and Spirited Away and Howl's Moving Castle, and they've all have a very similar art style because it's this. He's the main artist on a lot of it, and they're all amazing animes with great stories. And I personally feel like this is like, if not the peak, it's right at, it's neck and neck with whatever is. But it's my favorite of his, and I think it's a masterclass in what good animation and anime should be. And that is my initial impression. What is your initial impression of Princess Mononoke?
Interesting. I'm forming my thoughts on your initial impression right now. You know, you know, both you and the viewer / listener, if you've partaken in this show for any amount of time, I, not just as a film reviewer, but as a person in general, I'm very... I contemplate a lot of things, and like to challenge concepts or ways of thinking.
Sure.
Because I think it's how I better understand the world and become a more well-rounded person. Can I ask you a question about your initial impression before I give mine?
Sure.
On what grounds, or what is your basis for feeling qualified to denote something as a masterclass in anime? I would say both as, not so much as just a film fan, but as a pretty damn white, not Asian. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a part of my brain that is going, is there, regardless of how much anime you may have consumed or how into anime you may have been, is there a inherent out of your depth element?
I would say that it would be partially my own personal opinion, formed from consuming lots of both animation and anime. And I would also say that kind of on top of that, as you said, listening or reading or watching other critics help also inform your opinion or help you think about it. So that those opinions of other people would support my own personal opinion.
Right. Okay. I can and I can wrap my head around that. Like that. Yeah. That answer satisfied.
Like letting the cat out of the bag. In our kind of preamble, we talked about Siskel and Ebert. Roger Ebert, and I looked it up real quick because it's not currently, but in '99. This movie was in his top 10 favorite films.
Right. Okay.
He gave it
that's big praise.
He gave it a 4 out of 5 stars.
That's big praise. That's so weird to me. A 5-star rating system to me is not enough stars.
Yeah, 10 seems our 0 to 10 is way better.
Especially if you're not going to do like 3/4 stars and stuff like that.
I think it's better than they had a TV show for a while where they rated stuff, and wasn't that just like a 1 or 2 thumbs up or 1 or 2 thumbs down?
I don't know, but
system?
Do you know what I mean? It's like there's
not enough data.
Only,
the
film can only fall in 1 of 5 slots. Okay, my initial impression is, thank you, by the way, for answering that question, because it did genuinely, I think, satisfy my
curiosity,
pondering of
why.
No, my pondering of like,
where,
what right do we have to comment on Japanese animation? But yeah,
it's art. Anybody can have a comment and an opinion on art.
No, I know, but to say that something's a masterclass just feels a little more like,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like if I got on here right now and
I'm not, yeah, I know what you're saying. You're saying like if I'm not like trained in or educated in the science of or whatever,
and there's also just like a cultural thing, right? Like if I got on here right now and I was like, let me tell you why this is. Let me get on here and be the authority on black exploitation films. I mean, right? Do you know what I mean? There's a little bit of an element there that like feels.
I think you're dealing with subject matter rather than a art form.
Yeah,
but I also would say, I think in both cases, you can inform yourself enough to have an expert opinion in anything.
Yeah, and I agree, 100%.
Doesn't matter.
So my initial impression is a weird film. Like it's weird.
Yeah.
Good or bad, it's weird.
Yeah, and that would come from kind of the anime style for sure.
Yeah, just even the story. Like
no, I would still say that that's kind of like that Japanese.
Sure, it's the Japanese
cultural storytelling.
But yeah,
like all the spirits and stuff.
It's weird. I don't know if it's helped by the English dub. It's a weird cast. It's a weird group of people they got together to play the roles that they chose to have them play, especially because these are meant to be Japanese characters. I'm not saying that they needed to have Japanese accents per se, not having Japanese accents, maybe not having English speaking Japanese characters or Japanese actors do it. Maybe feels like a little bit of whitewashing.
It's not.
Having Billy Bob Thornton voice a Japanese character really feels like whitewashing.
It's very common. It's actually it is the norm for English dubbed anime to be voiced by white North American actors and voice actors.
Yeah, I mean
that's the norm. That's what it is.
Yeah, but do you know what I mean? Like, there's still a weird. You're not going to convince me that it doesn't feel like whitewashing to have a Japanese character with Billy Bob Thornton's voice.
It's no more whitewashing.
No, I'm not saying it is. I'm
having
saying
a Marvel film go to Japan or anywhere else in Asia,
right,
and then be dubbed over by Asian actors.
No, and I'm not saying. I'm not saying.
It's just.
I'm not saying it is whitewashing, but you're not going to convince me that Billy Bob Thornton's voice playing a Japanese character doesn't feel whitewashy.
Okay.
Right? That it doesn't feel
right.
Did you even try? Like, what? Like, this. It feels odd. In the same way that like Jada Pinkett Smith's voice feels off, because Jada Pinkett Smith's voice, who I love, she has an incredible voice, great, very talented voice actor. She, not just in her voice, but in her cadence, in her delivery, she sounds like she's from the hood. And because Jada Pinkett Smith, really rough upbringing and past and very colorful life. Just sounds like she's from the hood. And so when all of a sudden that voice shows up and it's like a flirtatious Japanese girl,
right? You're
like, I have a disconnect here. Something's weird. Something's not lining up with, it kind of feels like when you meet a super Asian looking person, right? Like, looks very, very Asian, named Tony with an English accent, British accent.
Okay.
And you're just like, something's not computing.
That's interesting. Because like I said, it is the norm for,
I get it.
For anime dub and pretty much any kind of dub for local actors or actresses to play those roles. And then on top of that, anybody who enjoys anime, consumes anime, and listens to dub over subtitled, it will never usually bother them.
Yeah, and maybe that's just me dipping my toes into this, right? Like, to me, it's the same thing. Having Billy Bob Thornton do a voice, just because it's so distinct and it's from a very specific part of the States, his accent, that, had someone in this film been voiced by, had the cast of this film been Billy Bob Thornton, Sean Connery, and Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'd be sitting here going, I'm not buying that this is in Japan, right? I'm not buying this.
Can I say, your ability to pull out whose voice is what actor is insanely impressive.
Thank you.
Like, I will hear some voice actors and or actors just in like a voice VO, right? Doing VO work. And I'll be like, oh, that sounds familiar. And I might be able to pick up the voice and figure it out. But it would take me a little bit. Did I watch it this week? I watched, Robots.
Right.
When I watched Robots, it took me half the film to peg who the main character's voice actor was.
Right.
It's Ian McGregor.
Yeah.
But I was just like listening to it. I was like, this sounds really familiar. It's cool. It fits the character. Sure. Whatever.
Yeah.
But it took me half the film to really figure it. And I had to like Google it to double check.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought like you picked up all those names that you mentioned almost immediately.
Right.
I was just like, holy crap.
So to round out my initial, just to put a cap on my initial impression, weird. It felt very much like a cartoon that had I been channel surfing as a kid and came across this, I would have kept
going,
kept flipping. I don't feel better or worse for having watched it.
Okay.
It didn't ignite a spark.
Sure.
Right. I'm not. I haven't come out of it going, oh my God, the wonderful world of anime. Right. So, and on that, I do have that hot take about anime.
Sure. Hot takeaway.
I have, and again, maybe ignorantly, and happy to have my mind changed. I have always viewed obviously, if you are Japanese and living in Japan, and that is your culture, then this is your native style of animation.
Right.
Here in North America, people who are into, like, in Japan, it's a way of animation. In North America, it's more of a taste. It's more of a
animation in general, or you talk
anime.
Anime, yeah, okay.
Right. It's more of a
in Japan. It's even more than that. In Japan, it's just a way to tell stories, and like,
right.
It's almost as big as and normal as making a live action film.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is that there it's just film.
Yeah.
And here it's something you're either into or you're not.
Yeah.
I have always viewed North American adults who are into anime, like really into anime, as I haven't viewed the people themselves this way. I have always viewed anime as childish, and I don't know why. Super unpopular opinion. But I don't know why. I mean, I think part of it is that obviously it's animation, and with animation comes some connotations about, cartoons are for kids.
Right.
I don't necessarily believe that.
You watch cartoons.
Yeah, but it's probably certainly a factor. But it's also anime typically is bright colors and a less realistic form of animation, like a more simple hand-drawn feeling kind of. Feels like, at least the anime that I've seen.
Yeah, I would say what you're talking about is kind of more like a kind of the shonen style anime, like Dragon Ball Z or One Piece.
It feels like it really
Naruto.
hasn't changed or evolved at all in a very long time.
Yeah.
It feels like what North American cartoons felt like in the late 80s, early 90s. that level of
with their own flair, sure.
but that level of detail and realism.
Yeah.
The example that I thought of this while watching the movie, and I don't know why this is what came to my head. And this is probably a very specific group of anime fans. And so I don't know that I don't know that it's fair to even use this as a hot take. There's nothing that makes me judge someone more than a 30-year-old with a Pikachu backpack on.
Right.
Right? Like, I'm big into Batman and big into Marvel superheroes and can't wait for Doomsday and the new Spider-Man movie and all this stuff. But I'm not wearing a Captain America backpack. You're not going to catch me in Captain America.
It stays in your home.
I'm wearing Batman socks right now, and I like fun socks. Yeah. That feels like
you might wear a branded T-shirt.
Maybe, and even that's exceedingly rare.
Yeah.
Or increasingly rare. Yeah, and I don't know what it is. I don't know why that's right. Like, but I guess I feel that way about a lot of things. Like,
I would say like the type of anime you're describing, like I throw Pokemon the series in there too, right? Those anime are exactly what you describe, and they're kind of they're a lot more geeky, childlike in their design. Like the bright colors and the kind of simple, what would seem to be, I'll say, simpler animation, because it's not always simpler, especially when the fight scenes start breaking out.
Right.
The fight scenes get exceedingly complex in terms of their art style. But yeah, I would say that is would be a subgenre of anime. Studio Ghibli's animation, like if we break this back to Mononoke, Princess Mononoke, like the art style Studio Ghibli has is vastly different from the style you're describing. Right. I would say.
Like, I feel like I could tell a lot about a person, and I don't know, it's specifically anime too. So this is like a therapy session for me.
That's fine.
Because I
would add one more thing. Like the animes that you're talking about also usually hinge with a lot of fan service. The female protagonists have big busts and usually are dressed scantily most of the time, and there's always some kind of horn dog that's a character that's after the ladies, and it's kind of a really kind of a immature and played up for laughs situations, right? And again, I would say that creates that's a subgenre of anime, and Studio Ghibli just kind of stays away from all of that.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean though? Like, I don't know why. Like, I could go into the grocery store tomorrow and see two adults, right?
Right.
Standing in line in the grocery store. I look over in one row, and there's a 40-year-old in a zip-up hoodie that looks like it's the Darth Vader chest piece and the whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm probably looking at that going, that's cool. That's a cool hoodie.
Sure, yeah.
I look over on the other side, and I see a 35-year-old woman with a Sailor Moon headpiece on, and I'm thinking, oh, you were bullied. and the group of friends you have, like, you and you never grew out of, you are the same person functionally now that you were when you were 16. and this is all a safety blanket, and again, this is not me declaring or saying this is how it is or this is how we should view those people or any of that. This is my hot take, and this is me not, this is my therapy session where I am unpacking part of my judgment and disinterest in anime over the years has been, and I don't want to. I don't want to throw, like, look, you and I played, and it's definitely had a resurgence, and a big part of that is certainly Stranger Things. But you and I did some D&D during the pandemic.
We did. Yep. Some online D&D. Yep.
And there's D&D, and then there's the 50-year-olds who are playing D&D because if they don't go and play D&D, then they don't have anyone to. If they don't join the local D&D group, then they don't have anyone to talk about or talk to, right?
I thought you were going somewhere completely. I thought you were going to go like, there's D&D, and then there's live action role playing,
right? Or LARPing. I mean,
that's where I thought you were going to go.
and I'm not judging people who play D&D, and I'm not judging LARPers. Like at all,
right?
Or cosplayers. Cosplaying interests me because it's an act of like sourcing the parts.
There's an artistry to it.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like nerds that never grew out of being nerds, or geeks that never grew out of being geeks and are still hardcore, like, but it almost reaches a point where it's like maybe your geekiness goes hand in hand with your social hurdles or social roadblocks, and or being, flying your geek flag so proudly at this stage in life has prevented you from actually progressing as an adult?
I don't know. If they're holding down a stable job and paying their bills and have a family, they could still love that stuff to death. Wear that Pikachu backpack to work.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I hear what you're saying. Honestly, it does sound a little judgmental.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Like I'm cool if you like Darth Vader and wear a Darth Vader hoodie, but if you're wearing a Goku hoodie in the next aisle, shame on you.
No, and I mean it's an unfair comparison because one is a headpiece, one's like a costume item, and
but that's why I changed it.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. No, and yeah, 100. This is me saying I part of me not being into anime has been me being judgy of it.
Yeah.
And judgy a little bit of the people who partake in it.
Which, like...
I'm making it sound like it's recreational drugs.
I am into... Oh, my notes from another movie. I'm into anime, and I would say that not of people that watch anime, but I'm judgmental of anime. Like, I hate it when a show starts diving into the fan service stuff heavily.
Right.
It's just ruins the experience for me, which is one of the reasons I really love what Studio Ghibli creates, is because it is minimal to zero. The closest thing to fan service we get in Princess Mononoke is when the brothel girls are in their kimonos and they're kind of busty and there's a bit of cleavage.
Yeah.
Which in the grand scheme of anime, that's tame. That's that's child's play.
Yeah. Because there are like subgenres of anime that aren't, that through the lens of anime aren't pornography, but through a lens of normal everyday
North American culture
content is essentially pornography.
Which is also a culture thing, because that kind of thing is more normative in Japan. That provocativeness, we'll say, in not in the individuals on the street, not in humans walking around, but in the culture that they consume in anime. Like, it's a thing in anime
in their
because
animation,
they create it,
but not in their live action stuff.
I would say I would agree with that.
They're a lot more censored.
I would say it is mostly confined to animation.
Yeah. Anyways,
there might be other aspects of Japanese or Asian culture that kind of that's a big part of that provocativeness, but kind of what's mainstream and does it would be anime. Yeah.
Anyways, that's my super judgy take on anime. Cool. Like I said, I'm, I apologize.
I don't know if it's an unknown hot take. I think I knew that.
Right.
I think you've definitely mentioned that a few times on the podcast.
Yeah.
So that people probably had an idea.
I apologize.
Your honesty's appreciated.
I apologize profusely if, this has just been me trying to have an open and honest dialogue and unpack, well, why is it that I think anime's dumb? And so
when you just finished watching the Star Wars cartoons not that long ago.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And it's not like, oh, you're just racist against. No, I've got nothing against Japanese culture.
Nobody's saying that. No, I don't think anybody's saying that.
No, but I'm addressing. I'm addressing the.
He's not saying that.
I'm addressing the future YouTube comments right now. So
I'm telling YouTube, get off his back. He's not saying that.
I apologize profusely if you feel as though I have in some way been disrespectful in my half of this conversation with you, the listener. Having said that, I would also like to encourage you. Like I said, I'm happy to. I believe that I need my mind changed on this. Not necessarily that I need someone to turn me into an anime fan, but I need to have my mind. You need your
Johnny Cash.
I need my perception shifted.
Yeah.
And so I would invite. This is me inviting you, to take part in that discourse, and yeah, comment some things that I should check out, or comment some perspective. And I'll respond to you if you're gonna get in the comments and just jump down my if you're gonna get in the comments and you're looking to fight, I'm not gonna respond to you just because.
Constructive criticism.
Yeah, just because I don't have time for your crap. But if you feel like I've not upheld my end of that bargain, I apologize. This has been me. None of this was thought out. It's just been me literally
rambling,
vocally vomiting my thoughts as they're popping into my head and unpacking and going, is this what I think? It feels like maybe it's what I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really, in terms of giving thoughts and opinions on this film, I don't know what to say. I don't don't get it. So I understand the movie. I understood the plot.
The plot, yeah.
And the plot's fine. Like the plot, you know, it's whatever. I will give, you know, my hat is off. Praise to this film. At least in terms of the content that I have consumed in my lifetime, it feels like a relatively unique and original story. Now, you know, again, someone could hop in the comments and go, "This is the oldest trope in the anime book. Like, this is the furthest thing from original." I don't know, right? But in terms of the stuff that I've consumed, it felt like a unique and new story to me. So I appreciated that. That was fun. None of our characters were... I mean, I did get a kick out of Jada Pinkett Smith's character, but I think a lot of that was the sass that Jada Pinkett Smith brings to it. I did not think the voice acting was great, which is interesting because there was some great talent in it. And maybe that's a flaw of the dub, but it just kind of felt like, particularly Billy Bob Thornton, just kind of... It didn't feel like the expressiveness of the read or the tone or emotion, or like it didn't feel like it matched the situation or even the expressions on the characters' faces while those lines were coming out. It kind of felt like someone had said, "All right, Billy Bob, here's a script. We can't let you see the movie. We can't tell you what's happening in this scene. And we can't let you meet any of the other characters or read with them. These are your lines without any notes or directions on them. Please go into this sound booth. You have one take." Was sort of what it felt like. Like, it just felt weird, and as a result, rambly, as opposed to organic, expressive dialogue.
Yeah. And so I would agree with some of that. I think our lead characters were great.
Were better.
They were,
for sure.
I thought they were really good. Yeah, like the Billy Bob Thornton's character, kind of his rambling feels a little disjointed to the situation that's happening. Like, he doesn't feel afraid for his life really when the headless forest god is crashing down around them.
Yeah, it's like, where's the
where the other two do feel kind of like pressured and there's some energy in their voice.
It seems weird to me that, like, this has to have just been a paying job. Like, this doesn't strike me as this doesn't strike me as a project that Billy Bob Thornton wanted to be a part of.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right?
I don't know.
It seems like this was just it's just a gig.
Yeah.
Easy
I
money.
will say, if I knew you were more open to subtitles, I would have showed you the original. But I know your feeling on subtitles, so to give the movie an adequate
you own
viewing,
both, or they're both on the disc?
I don't think both are on the disc, but I would have got you to download the. No, this one's just got English and French.
Can I see this case for a second here? Hang on. The Star Wars of animated features. I mean, let's back the card up a little bit here. That seems like
Who said that? I don't even.
The New York Post.
Okay.
That's a claim. That's a claim. Like, in what context, right? In the, like, that's how groundbreaking it was. I don't know. Was this groundbreaking?
To my knowledge, in this one, this is one of the first times Studio Ghibli used CGI or computer generated imagery
Right.
on top of hand drawn.
Okay.
So maybe that's it. I don't know. I don't know if I go as far as to that.
That's a hell of a claim.
That's a big claim. I definitely like. I'm on the same page as Ebert and putting it in like, I don't know if it'd be in my current top 10, but in animes, if I were to rank my favorite animes, this is number one.
This is in my top 10 animes.
Nice.
I will give it that.
Crack the
100%.
top 10. But yeah, Studio Ghibli always gets high praise for its animation. Like the set pieces that they draw are gorgeous, and the animations flow beautifully.
So let's actually talk. Like, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this a little bit. And I'm going to let you sort of take the reins on this conversation, and direct it. Just
Sure.
because I feel like my perception is that this is probably among many a very beloved animated anime
easily
film. And so far it's been the better part of an hour of me just shit talk. Like this is probably
crap talking anime in general.
This is probably such a disappointing piece of content. So for anyone who is not already we may have entirely missed the assignment here in terms of reviewing this, but let's actually try to discuss this for anyone who hasn't already gone if these guys right. And sure. I apologize. I just it's not my thing, and so I had to talk it out.
Yeah, get your feelings out on your sleeve. We got you.
Yeah.
All right. So
ask me what I think about free transit. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have any opinions really.
Yeah. All right. What should we dive into? What did you think about the art in the film, the animation?
Less. Again, I'm going to use terms that are people are going to go, whoa, what do you mean by that? Less aggressively anime than some of the things I've seen.
Yeah, for sure.
If that's probably not the right way to say it, but
I would say more grounded. More
grounded. Yes. I think the part I did not mind this film at like the fact that this was an anime. I would put this in the same category for me. Calm down, holy.
Nobody's saying anything, buddy.
They will. I would screenshot all of them and send them to you. I would put this for me in the same viewing experience as War of the Rohirrim was.
Okay, was that an animated Lord of the Rings?
It's an anime Lord of the Rings.
Okay, I haven't seen that yet.
In that it's anime, but it's not that, like, again, a lot of my experience growing up having been with Pokemon and Sailor Moon and whatever, where there's a lot of over-the-top expressiveness, a lot of moments to, like, weird, like, reality-breaking moments where, like, if a character's embarrassed or something, which in those shows, characters, that seems to be like one of the go-to emotions is embarrassment. But like the eyes will get all either really, really big or
Like usually, like if they're embarrassed, it's like big white blank eyes,
big white blank eyes,
big black lines straight up and down their face.
Yep.
Yeah.
And quite often too, they'll like not draw the backdrop. Like all of a sudden, it's just a shot of them, and it's like a white.
It'll become a very almost childlike drawing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That shit drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Like that's the stuff where I was like, this feels like this feels silly.
Yeah. That's why I would say this kind of art style is more grounded.
Yeah.
Where it's they're looking to make a piece of cinematic art and not a Saturday morning cartoon.
Yes. And so that I appreciated. And I had no like I think it's just that. I think it's the Saturday morning cartoon anime that I don't like, that I can't stand. At no point during this did I go, ugh, it's anime. Like the fact that it was Japanese animation didn't bother me once. Didn't bother me at all.
The weird stuff that they were animating kind of threw you a bit. You were kind of saying.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a weird story.
Yeah, it heavily influenced. Studio Ghibli stuff is always fairly heavily, not always, but mostly always heavily influenced by Japanese folklore and stuff.
Right.
Like I can't remember what they're called, but the little wood elf spirits. Like that's a very Japanese folklore thing.
Right. So yeah, I mean, in terms of the animation and the art style, it not only did it not bother me, I would say I appreciated the fact that it was not
over the top
Sailor Moon.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Out of curiosity, you mentioned you watched Road to the Harem. What did you think of that? Just a real quick synopsis. Or rating or whatever.
We reviewed it on the show, and I'm trying to remember. You? Yeah. I liked the movie from a story standpoint. It was a story I was already familiar with because it is taken from Tolkien's
UMP
writings.
Reviewed it?
Yeah. It's taken from Tolkien's writings.
That one yet.
My feelings on that film were mixed because it just felt like an odd choice to me.
The art style?
Yeah, it felt odd to do a Lord of the Rings anime released theatrically. Right? Like it was like, I can see, like, if you want to get experimental with stuff, sure. This feels like maybe a Netflix dump.
Right.
As opposed to a theatrical. Basically what I said is, if you're looking at releasing a film in a theater, you have several different gates. The pyramid of viewer interest that you're going to go through. You are going to lose some people because it's Lord of the Rings. Because some people will go,
not interested.
But a lot of people will be. Of the people who do like Lord of the Rings, you will lose some people because it's simply animated. Some people will go, animated is not my thing.
Yeah.
You will lose a far bigger chunk of people once you go, not only is it animated, it's anime. You're going to have a lot of like Lord of the Rings fans going, what? Why? Like, why? And it sort of became like, wasn't there, and maybe these were Netflix projects, but there was like all of a sudden there was a Terminator anime show. There was a Tomb Raider anime show.
It happens with a lot of projects. So Star Wars has one called Star Wars Visions. Disney Plus.
Or
there's Animatrix. There's a
first
Batman
iteration of
one.
Clone Wars was pretty Japanese animation.
Yeah, it had influences. It was North American made, but
it sort of had Jack the Samurai art style.
Yes,
Samurai Jack, or whatever.
Was again North American. I think it was made by the same studio actually. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken. But so like you're saying, you're gonna lose people.
You're gonna lose people. So that was my take on that film. Was it just seemed like a weird choice?
Yeah, I'll quickly kind of rebuttal that particular comment in saying that anime viewership is becoming more common to the point where it is worldwide profitable. So there was an anime, a TV show anime that released a feature-length film not that long ago called Demon Slayer.
Yep.
It grossed over $780 million worldwide.
Right.
Became the highest grossing Japanese film and the top performing anime film ever. The previous title holder was Mugen, something called Mugen Train, which I have never seen, and it grossed $512 million in 2020.
Right.
So that's a huge leap up 5 years later.
So, but with Lord of the Rings, and
there, just to kind of counterpoint, there is a massive audience for anime.
Yeah. So, but the Lord of the Rings thing felt like a weird. I'm like, is this the same audience? And I know we're not reviewing the War of the Rohirrim film, but we are talking about anime.
Yeah.
War of the Rohirrim is a Lord of the Rings project, which in and of itself should drive box office numbers.
Yeah.
War of the Rohirrim was made with a $30 million budget. Released theatrically. I saw it in a theater. Pete saw it in a theater. Worldwide, it made $20 million. Like it was a box office disaster for them.
Yeah, which is interesting. Like, it would make me wonder. I haven't seen it. Like, was the story good?
I thought it was. Now, I mean, you'll lose some people because it's a Lord of the Rings story that is not. It doesn't have Frodo in it. It doesn't have.
I wonder, like, the reason Demon Slayer would have done well is that, and this is tricky. I'm trying to break this down. We're off the rails of Princess Mononoke, but that's all right. I think we're in the same vein. To break this down, because Demon Slayers, I think they're in like their fifth or sixth, maybe even seventh season. So they've been around a while. That's at least 5 or so plus years. But prior to that, almost all those kind of animes that you kind of dislike come from manga comic books. Right. And those manga comic books,
well, not Pokemon,
have been around. Pokemon came from a video game.
Yeah.
But those manga comic books were around before the animes ever started.
Yeah.
Right. The manga's got to become popular and get picked up by a publisher to draw and hire the manga artist to draw an anime, because usually they do both, which is crazy. But so I could say, like, Demon Slayer had a big following before it had a theatrical release, and that's why it did so well. But Lord of the Rings has been around for decades now.
Huge following.
Has a huge following, has a huge cinematic following because we've got 2 trilogies and a TV show. So there's no reason it shouldn't have done well.
Except for the possibility that the Venn diagram of anime fans and Lord of the Rings
don't
fans
cross over as much.
might not have a very big crossover, right?
Which must be it.
And then,
Like I don't see any other reason why it wouldn't do well.
in terms of adapting these like specifically of adapting mangas, you also have to have you have to do a good job. You have to, right? Like, so you want to talk about something that a manga that had a big following. I'm about to seem real. I'm about to be like, people be like, wait a second, I thought you like you're not into this shit. Death Note.
Yep. Okay.
Big following.
Yep.
Very popular. Mm-hmm. Not a lot of people love that Netflix movie.
No. So that's live action. It has an anime, and the anime is hugely popular.
Yeah.
But I think just like Disney with their live actions and not a lot of them doing well, anime is having this same issue.
Doing well in what sense? They're all, with the exception of Snow White, they've all been pretty profitable.
I would say, like, critically, like people. Right. There are people they might make money, but like they're not rated high. I don't think they're rated very. I'm
actually curious now.
I don't look at them very highly. I think they're a fun watch, but I would not rate them higher than the original animated versions.
Right.
Right. Like Lion King. I don't think the animated is better than. Or the live action is better than the animated.
Wow, with Lion King, they're both animated.
Wow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? Like
Jon Favreau's versus...
But I think with there are exceptions to the rule.
Yep.
Right? But I think anime's been trying to do the same thing, take anime to live action. And like there's been a whole bunch of them that have been done, and a lot of them have fell pretty flat. One of the exceptions to that would be the One Piece Netflix series.
Right.
And I would say one of the reasons that one has succeeded is because the creator of One Piece, the manga and the anime, pretty much had veto power on the show.
Right.
Right. Like he was the go-to yes or no. Does it look good? Should we do this? Should we not do this?
Right.
For the whole show so far. And I think that has helped that live action succeed, where the other ones have kind of fell pretty flat. Yeah.
So for the most part, the live action Disney films are by audience score reviewed quite highly.
Are they?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's exceptions, like we said, the Snow White one. Mm-hmm. And what was the Pinocchio? I still haven't seen that one
it either. It looks weird.
But
Snow White got grilled pretty hard.
Oh, they just got lambasted. Yeah. They got absolutely destroyed. Something that's weird to me, this is the critic score. Is the audience score higher? I'm about to flip the... No, what the... Y'all are idiots. The entire internet is a bunch of morons. Everyone on it, including us.
Anyway.
40% on Rotten Tomatoes, both critic and audience score.
For?
The live action 101 Dalmatians. That's a great film.
That's like one of their first live action, wasn't it?
It's an amazing film.
Yeah.
Jeff Daniels.
I don't think I've seen it.
Glenn Close. Really?
I don't think so. I might have seen bits of it.
Are you familiar with the animated one?
Yeah. I've seen that.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's get back to our movie so we can wrap this thing up a bit. So we talked about visuals. I talked about the voice cast.
Yep.
You mentioned the story felt a little weird.
Oh, I think it's a weird story.
Like weird good, weird bad. Was it did you enjoy it? Did you dislike it? Were the characters interesting or not interesting? Like
weird and different. Like weird, not good. Weird, not bad. Just is a weird movie. The characters, again, some I was interested in. Our main hero, couldn't have cared less about. Just for whatever reason, was not captivated by that character. And again, I think 80% of that is probably the dub. Right? I think 80% of that was me just not buying
voiceover work.
Yeah, it was me just not buying the character, me not buying the performance.
Wow.
Yeah. But and then other characters I did like or find interesting. I don't know. Our main character just sort of felt like pretty generic. Like didn't feel like an interesting character in and of himself. Felt like a generic character that interesting things were happening to. Right? Like obviously the fact that his arms got
infected by demonic
spreading throughout
stuff,
him and he's fighting it and stuff. But you take that away and you're like,
I find his struggle to uncover what's going on, and how did the elder in his town put it? Be the peace in, what was it? What did she say? Be the peace in the war or in the chaos or
right,
something like that. His struggle to be that, like he shows up and he ends up in finding these dead guys in the river.
Yeah,
and he takes compassion on them, Good Samaritan, and takes them home. And on that journey home, they come through the forest and they're freaking out because this is a dangerous place. And he's like, no, this is a peaceful place.
Yeah.
Like he is like the bridge between these two worlds. Yeah. And he's trying to balance it throughout the whole thing. He's in Irontown, and the spirits and Princess Mononoke are like, they are evil. They need to die.
Yeah.
They are destroying the world. But he goes in there, and he's inquisitive, and he's like, what are you doing? Why are you here? Where did you come from? And he's learning that these are just people that are trying to make their way in the world.
Yeah.
Right. And he's very kind of judgmental in that way. But then he does get kind of judgmental when they start attacking or being the aggressor. But then he's the same way with the spirits. He wants to understand them. He wants to make peace with them. And he gets judgmental a bit when they are become the aggressors. So he's trying to balance and create a peace between these two worlds.
Yeah. I mean, all of that to me just feels like I felt like I was starting a new RPG video game with a very like I felt like I was playing Starfield. Did you play Starfield?
Yeah, I played Starfield.
Yeah. Felt like I was playing Starfield, and instead of selecting a background for my character, I just chose the option that was like, there's no background on file. And instead of going through and being like, okay, you know what? I'm going to put 2 points into charisma, and I'm going to put a couple points into knowledge, and a point into, no, I don't need any empathy points. I'm not going to play that way. Or, I feel like I was just like, or hit B for the balanced option, right? Like to me, it just felt it was more, Again, instead of being an interesting character, it was a generic character plopped into interesting circumstances.
The fact that he was a prince from a deposed kingdom didn't mean anything.
I didn't find it all that. I think it's an interesting
anything?
premise, but I didn't feel like they did anything specifically interesting with it.
Well, I think it's interesting that he's a prince and she's a princess,
right? Like,
and they
like in a yeah, yeah. But again, what bearing did that ultimately have?
I mean, not a whole lot narratively,
No.
but in kind of the undertones of the narrative, there's an interesting layer there.
There is, but I mean, again, like in a video game, right? So if you choose, you know, sometimes you'll play a game and it's like, yeah, you get to pick this rich, and you before you even get into the game, you read 2 paragraphs on the background of your character. And then you play 130 hours of this game. None of that's ever brought up. None of that has any... The only thing that had to do with anything was a choice that you made at the beginning to select that as your background. You read it, and then it's sort of up to you to have that somewhere in the back of your mind and use that as a part of your imaginative role-playing.
I would say the fact where he comes from plays the role, helps him play the role of bridge between the worlds, and that this kingdom that his ancestors came from had been deposed for a while. They've kind of gone back to nature. They don't want to be aggressors.
Right.
We kind of see that in the way the elder treats the boar at the end. They want to be kind of one and
I mean,
nature. But he's still human, and he still wants to.
What I liked about the story, and this part of it is not necessarily like, this is not a unique or original premise, but I think the way that they, you know, like the bones of it aren't necessarily unique or original, but all the meat fleshy bits that they decided to attach to the bones were, that it is just it's the age-old story of, we've got several groups of people and or creatures and or things, and just none of them understand each other.
Yeah.
Right? They're all misunderstood.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of misunderstandings.
And that's for me, that's one of the interesting things about this film is there's conflict between everybody.
Yes.
In this film. Not just Irontown and the spirits in the woods, but there's conflict between the men and the women in Irontown.
Yeah.
There's conflict between
the men
Irontown and neighboring feudal lords. There's conflict between Irontown and what's his name? The hunter.
I mean, the men in Irontown are misogynistic losers that are, you know, the women are there like doing 4-day-long shifts, working their asses off. Mm-hmm. And the men are like, bitch, I brought back rice.
Which is dangerous work, to be fair.
Sure. But also
getting attacked by wolves and boars.
But also, you know.
Yeah. I think they're doing a little more than that. They're also working in the mountain, bringing in ore and stuff. We don't see a lot of that. But they have
the women.
roles,
the women are
what we see in the kind of it's a bar scene portrays them very negatively, which would be, I guess, stereotypical of the time.
Yeah, the women in this town are, and the movie makes it very clear, at least to me, they're pulling their own.
Oh yeah,
they're working their ass off.
Yeah. The very strong female characters in this, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked Like, it's not a kid's movie.
No. Not this one. No.
I liked that. Like, there was a moment towards the beginning when he's first on his elk and galloping off, and the infection, the demon thing takes over, and he's flinging arrows, and arrows are like removing limbs and taking
the
heads
demon
off.
arm gives him extra strength.
Yeah. Right. And then I'm like, this is unexpected. Much like was, we're just sucking blood out of the wound of a
wolf
here. Like, this is okay.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, no, I look, ultimately I had fun with it. I don't think it was hurt by being anime. This one specifically, again, because it's not that childish version of anime. There, right? And there. Well, no, and I'm saying there because I've found the way that I can justifiably slot my anime seems like I think we made huge progress today,
right?
Because I came into this going,
you groaned and rolled your eyes when you found out it wasn't born.
Yes, but I came into this review saying I think anime is childish, and I don't know why. And where we've arrived,
you've had a very honest conversation.
Yeah, where we've arrived at is some anime is childish, and not only is some anime childish, the majority of the anime that is. The majority of the secular, in the zeitgeist, popular, all over the place, merchandised anime is
is the stuff you don't like.
Absolutely has those tropes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't know. Maybe there's a
I would say it's a lot of those tropes are what has made it that type style popular.
Yeah,
but this style would be my favorite.
Well, because it feels it's
goofy.
It's goofy,
silly,
but
it can take you out.
Yeah, but it also feels like I understand why people are drawn to it, because whereas where this is clearly anime, there's also less of a gap between this and standard North American animation versus Sailor Moon and standard North American animation.
Yeah.
Right? And so that over-the-top goofiness, those tropes, those embarrassed faces with the lines and the, whatever, that feels probably to a North American audience, that feels more like, this foreign thing, this interesting,
right,
very unique, look at how the Japanese do it thing, versus this is kind of just an animated film with a different art style.
Yeah.
Is really all this is.
Yeah. And like, I would say if this has piqued your interest.
Oh God. I wouldn't say that.
If you're looking to explore.
Slow your roll.
Then I would say, like, check out like Star Wars Visions, because it's a world you like, and the format they do it in is most of them are more like this kind of much more what was the term I used earlier, grounded,
right,
kind of animation. There's a few that are a little kind of bit more the style that you don't like, but a lot of them are grounded. But they're every episode is a slightly different is a different artist and a different little bit different style of anime. So you can kind of like explore that a little bit really quickly. The same thing with like Animatrix and the animated anime Batman, and yeah.
Right.
So anyway,
I mean, I do, because of that movie poster, top 100 scratch 'em off movie poster I got.
Away.
I will be at some point be watching Spirited Away.
Yeah, very good, very good. Yeah, it's one of Studio Ghibli's big top rated ones as well.
You ready to score this thing?
Let's do it.
All
Yeah,
right, sir.
Me go first.
On a scale of 0 to 10, how would you rank Princess Mononoke?
Mononoke.
That's what I said.
Yeah. You're not even trying now. If are we, I guess we're rating the one we watched, the dubbed version.
I mean, that's the one I have to rank.
So if I'm
How do
rating,
you spell this shit? MON.
if we're rating the dubbed version, I gotta give some room for if I ever rate the.
Do you see that happening?
No.
Do you see us rewatching this film?
I'm not showing you that.
Okay.
but like the original version, I would say is a superior version, even though the studio, what studio was it that took over the Miramax? No. The studio that took over the dubbing of this did a great job, and there was a little bit of rewriting in the translating that happened. I think they did a phenomenal job, but it's not as good.
Right.
That being said, I gotta kind of give it some rooms for, if that ever gets rated, then it has to have a better rating. So I'll give this an 8.5.
Wow. That's big.
Yeah. What
Big ordeal.
would you give the anime Princess Mononoke?
This might disappoint you. I consider this a win.
Why would that disappoint me?
No. The number I'm going to give it.
Oh, okay.
This may disappoint you.
You think it's a win,
I consider this. I think
but
you
the
should consider
number
this a
will
win.
disappoint me.
Yeah. I give it a 5.
Okay. I'll take it.
I still don't fully get it. Mm-hmm. The anime craze. Mm-hmm. The North American anime craze.
The worldwide anime craze. It's
Yes.
not just North America. It's a global, call it pandemic.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't say I liked this movie. I didn't dislike it. Which that's the part that should be considered a win.
Right.
Because
You didn't dislike it.
if I were playing on brand here, I would dislike
Crap all over it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't.
Yeah.
What'd you watch this week?
Oh, I watched some things. I want to first start by, did I mention that I watched Knives Out, the new Knives Out film? I think I did.
Yeah, like a couple of weeks
Yeah,
back.
okay. I just wanted to make sure. I wasn't sure if I had forgotten to do that or not.
I think so.
I won't go into that then.
Remind me, you liked it?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just listened to your and Pete's review of it driving to a meeting in Woodstock today. And
turns out he's not a big Knives Out guy. It was a confusing conversation for me.
He likes Sherlock Holmes better.
Yeah.
Which I would say they are two different. In the beginning,
they're wildly different.
In the beginning, you specified two different types of mysteries, like one where you have they subtly give you all the clues that the detective would get.
If you're paying attention, you can
put
figure
pieces
it out
together. I would say, and then there's ones where they don't. They just kind of like, you didn't get all the information, then this is the reveal.
And here's a 2-minute monologue to explain
Sherlock
everything.
Holmes is that.
The second one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you can't.
You can't
Because
figure
it out.
They'll often, like Sherlock Holmes, I think a good example would be in the second one, Robert Downey Jr.'s character is in his apartment on Bleecker Street.
Yep.
Yeah. And the girl comes in and she leaves and something happens and he's somewhere else.
Yeah.
And you're like, how did that happen? And then they do this kind of rewind thing and it shows him like running and hurrying and grabbing things from people and hats.
So without being shown that, you couldn't figure that out.
Yeah.
Right? There's or like him. I mean, there's also the fact that Sherlock Holmes, specifically Robert Downey Jr.'s Sherlock Holmes, is just not human, right? Like there's the scene with him sitting at the restaurant table and he's explaining like, oh yes, well, the blot of mustard on your, whatever was and I noticed a slight indentation where the wedding ring, blah blah blah, and then this, that, and the other thing, which led me to because it's the one species of South African bird that, and you're like, oh, come piss off, like I'm not. There's no way I'm piecing all that together.
That's true to form to Arthur Conan Doyle's books. Have you read Sherlock Holmes, any of Sherlock Holmes stories?
In a very long time.
I've read them a couple times. I've got two different kind of novelizations of the amalgamation of the story because they're really just short stories.
We have one.
Yeah,
here. The nice Barnes
I've
and Noble.
pretty much read all of them once and a number of them a couple times. Anyway,
Hounds of Baskerville.
That aspect of Holmes. Downey's portrayal of Holmes is accurate, I think, to the books.
It's comic accurate.
Yeah.
Yep.
The physicality side, not as much. He does get a little bit physical in some of the stories.
Oh, but Robert Downey,
for the most part, it's like
he's a brawler.
Yeah. And Sherlock Holmes in the novelization, the originals, he's not. He knows how to handle himself.
Yeah.
But he rarely finds him in that situation because he's smart enough to stay out of it.
Having said that, the Holmes of the novels it would not be out of character for him to all of a sudden one day tell Watson why he is joining a underground fighting ring. Because, do you know what I mean? Like he's on those in the same way that it's not unlikely for Watson to walk into Holmes's apartment to find Holmes shooting off a pistol in his own apartment and almost hitting
right.
He's just got that eccentric, I'm going to go do things and try things, and I have a justification for why this is the ultimate form of exercise, Watson. Right? Like I've I've been up all night thinking about it.
Final note on this. I like Benedict even though it's a modern telling, I think it's a more accurate depiction of who Sherlock as a character is.
Yeah. I didn't like Moriarty in
Moriarty was weird in that.
Yeah. That was my...
But they were also trying to... The character was weird, but the other thing about that was they were... I don't know if it affected Moriarty as a character, but they were trying to retell these historical stories in modern day, and some of them got a little weird.
Complicates
it.
Yeah.
Anyway, where did my list go? Here it is. I watched The Rookie. Continue to watch The Rookie. Still liking that show. We watched a Disney, a movie on Disney called The Creator.
Okay.
Have you heard about it?
It's possible. It's not ringing a bell.
The premise is AI and robots have kind of become prevalent, like household robots and stuff like that, helping people, kind of like to the length that like in AI, robots are everywhere,
right?
Or not iRobot, sorry, robots are everywhere in iRobot,
right.
Kind of like to that degree, but they're also becoming very human looking in the same vein, but like skin grafts looking. But they have these like weird hollow back robotic looking heads. It's wild. But in the beginning of the movie, very quickly, a nuke goes off in America, and America outlaws all AI. No AI, no robots. AI robots bad. But Japan and parts of Asia are pro AI. They're good. They're helpful. They don't ever want to hurt humans. They're good.
Sounds like Electric State.
And it's less. It's not Electric State. The story picks up with I don't want to give too much away. It's essentially this an American trying to protect this AI child, which has never been created before.
Right.
And this AI child can actually grow and learn, like literally grow and learn where no other AI can.
Right.
So it's this kind of like revolutionary new AI. And this child also has the ability to interact with any electronic kind of via kind of a Wi-Fi-ish way. And the range and the strength of its ability to do this will only grow as it gets older. So the states are afraid of this AI. They're trying to find it and kill it before it grows powerful enough to end the war.
Right.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I would recommend it, I think.
Okay. The creator.
I watched a film with Emily that I have watched before. I watched it again because it's on my list to show you.
Oh, okay.
And I just wanted to watch it because I was like, is it as good as I remember? And it is the movie Reign of Fire.
Okay.
Do you know
I know of
about
it? Yeah.
It's post-apocalyptic,
Yep.
but the apocalypse is dragons.
Yeah.
Very cool premise. And then the last film I watched was Tron Ares.
You watched it?
I did.
Uh-oh.
Not. I've watched the entire Tron series. It's been a while since I watched. It's been a long while since I watched the original Tron.
Right.
I've only watched
Legacy
like once shortly after release, so it's been a while for that too. But I vaguely
it's like 15 years.
Remember the stories like pretty vaguely.
Yeah.
I probably should have watched like a recap, but I just went into it kind of cold. I enjoyed it. I thought it was kind of interesting.
Yep.
I wasn't super blown away. I thought the stuff where he goes into the old tech,
the old grid,
and runs into, what's the actor's name?
Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges' character was pretty cool. Although Jeff Bridges' character felt very, very dude-like.
A little bit, yeah.
Which was weird. I don't remember that from his character in the previous
No, but it's
films,
also not him.
No, it's not.
Right.
But he still had he still talked and kind of acted like having us watching Big Lebowski fairly recently. I was just like, these feel like dude mannerisms.
Right.
I feel like this character should be a little bit more
like Flynn.
Like Flynn, which is hard to say. I hesitate to say that because I haven't watched the previous. He was in both films.
Yeah.
The preceding films, and I haven't seen them in a long time. So maybe he does act like Flynn.
Yeah.
But having watched the dude Big Lebowski so recently, he definitely feels like the dude and not a intellectual genius who's created the grid and a ways to get in and out of it.
Aaron and I had a blast with that film, but I've wondered how much of that is like we saw it in 3D with the moving seats.
Right. Oh, that would be fun.
right? And
Yeah.
so that was
That would
like,
add to the experience.
that was a
Yeah.
blast.
Have you seen all of them?
Yeah.
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 Cool. That's all I've watched. What have you seen?
Three things.
Three things.
Still watching Stranger Things.
Stranger Things. Where are you?
We've got like one episode to go in season 4, and then we're ready to do
you're
the
all there.
do the yeah.
Good to go.
We got slowed down a little bit because I ended up bogged down with work for 2 weeks and
Right.
it kind of made a mess
Sure.
of things. But still watching Home Improvement. And speaking of things that we were trucking along with, and then just like life got in the way, the holidays, whatever. My mom came over.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And we have now finished our X-Men watching Fox X-Men
fun.
universe thing, rounding it all off with Deadpool 2.
So you just watched Deadpool 2?
Just watched Deadpool 2.
Nice.
Yeah. So now we're going to watch a pick of hers. And then the next time she's over, Captain America, the First Avenger.
Ooh.
I think. I mean,
You're
I
gonna
have
go
not
chronologically.
I think so.
I think that would be fun.
Yeah, I mean, I've done chronologically before. The reason I like chronologically, I mean, both orders work. However, if you're doing order of release, if you're doing order of release, there's a couple of films that you do want to rearrange. Like you want to move Black Widow to where Black Widow belongs.
Yeah, quickly thinking about it here on the spot. There's not that many films in that series that are out of out of order in terms of chronology and release date.
Not a ton.
Like Captain America is.
Yeah.
Black Widow is.
The Guardians of the Galaxy films are.
Are they?
Yeah, because Guardians 2 is like next week after the first one.
Yeah, but they're so separate from all those films up until the end.
But still in terms of like you should still watch those two side by side because it is like 1 week later.
But what I'm saying is like you could watch the entire Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy on its own at any point in time.
No, you can't watch the third one. The third one's post Endgame.
You're right. Yeah.
Third one's post.
So you could watch the first two at any point in time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You would want to watch them earlier on though, because Guardians introduces the concept of Infinity Stones.
Right.
So you would want that as a basis. For certain other films moving forward.
You could watch it somewhere in and around Age of Ultron, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We're ready to wrap this up, but first, I've got this book that I've been reading from.
Right.
Called Ain't Got Time to Bleed.
Ain't Got Time to Bleed.
Where we break down the medical reports of famous action characters from
Let's do it.
Different franchises. Today, our patient is named Colonel John Matrix.
Predator.
Scene of the incident, Commando.
Commando?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. We've seen Commando.
Yep. Scene of the incident, Commando, 1985.
Right.
Occupation,
John
Delta Force
Matrix.
Colonel. Retired. Incident report. Retired Special Forces Colonel waged a one-man war against South American dictator who kidnapped his daughter. Patient sustained critical injuries during his rampage. I did not show the image.
Did you show the image last time? I don't think you did.
Yeah, I think so.
Did you?
Yeah. So that's
I don't remember seeing the last image. Maybe I do. I don't know. It wasn't that long ago.
A patient sustained critical injuries during his rampage, which resulted in the grisly deaths of 80 plus bad guys. His entries.
Yeah.
Number 1, his face, head, neck, and back. Multiple serious automobile incidents, including a head-on collision with a telephone pole and 2 rollover crashes. Superficial laceration on forehead, probable traumatic brain injury, skull fracture, and intracranial hemorrhage.
Okay.
2, his head, hands, and thorax. Fist fights with dozens of opponents, beaten with a metal pipe, gun butt, and other blunt instruments. Another superficial laceration on forehead, nosebleeds, bruised knuckles, and fractured ribs are likely. Next up, his abdomen. Shot with a Palmer capture short-range tranquilizer pistol. Minor puncture wound, loss of consciousness. Next up, his knees. Jumped from an airplane undercarriage and fell approximately 100 feet into a muddy marsh, which cushioned his landing. Possible anterior ACL sprain or tear from impact.
Okay.
5, entire body. Rolled off the hood of a 1969 Porsche 911 Targa. Moderate contusions, bruises, and abrasions, scrapes, are likely. His abdomen, right side, anterior left femur. Hit by shrapnel fragments from a close-range M64 grenade or 67 grenade detonation. Deep lacerations with class 1 hemorrhage. If his femoral artery was hit, class 4 hemorrhage possible, which is a fatal injury without emergency treatment. His thorax and arms. Jumped shirtless through glass doors. Deep incisions on exposed areas with class 2 hemorrhage involving 15 to 30% total blood volume.
I think that's dependent on what type of glass, like if it was tempered glass or not.
Fair. Tendon and or nerve damage probable. His right shoulder. Shot with a Detonics Scoremaster pistol. The 11.5 millimeter caliber bullet grazed his shoulder superficially. And finally, his abdomen. Slashed with a hunting knife. Deep incision, class 1 hemorrhage. Additional observations. Patient appeared to take delight in the body count left in his wake, making wisecracks as he killed his enemies. Possible antisocial personality disorder. The prognosis. Any potential traumatic brain injury would likely require immediate neurosurgery. Without stopping off at an emergency room, the patient's vital signs would slowly deteriorate as the pressure mounted within his skull, combined with the cumulative blood loss from his other injuries. Colonel Matrix's next stop would be the morgue. Condition: dead tired.
Dead tired.
Thank you so much for watching and or listening, depending on how you consumed this episode. I'm sorry again. Calm yourself. Chill out. It'll be okay.
He didn't mean it. We'll convert him.
Make sure you check out our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff listed down below. If you're listening to this and you want to be watching this, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We Pete and I recently just shot, I think we shot like 13 shorts that will be rolling out.
Wow.
Slowly but surely.
Like you staged some shorts?
No, like you know what I mean. Instagram Reels. YouTube Reels.
Right.
YouTube Shorts.
But they were like were they pulled from a full episode, or you just
No. We just sat down and shot them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was like the rank 10
top
things?
10 thing. Yeah. It was good, right?
Yeah. Oh, hang on.
Well, let me say this first.
Okay.
We have a Patreon page. You can support the show, get some fun perks in return, but also just, support the show. Content like this is free for you to consume. It is not free for us to make. It's pretty expensive to make, actually.
And time intensive.
Who knew?
For one of us.
Yeah. So tired. And we have merch. Another great way to support the show, but also sport some badass goods is from our merch page, also listed down below. What?
My wife had a cool idea.
Okay.
She said we should do something. She's never going to hear if we do it or not because she doesn't listen. But she said we should do like a top performances kind of showdown.
Right.
Like rank actors top performances.
Your crazy psychopathic wife with the nose wart. That one?
Careful how you talk about my wife and her wart.
She's never going to hear this. You just said that. It's like getting on YouTube and making fun of the Amish.